Welcome back, everybody, to Bologna Baloney with me, Daniel, or Dan. Dan Has Fun. Just thought I'd do a little bit of a recap, just in case this is the first video you've seen, or it's, been a few days or week, because these get uploaded weekly at the moment. Just in regards to our situation. So, for the first time, really, we are in a position where we're not just a weak nation, piggybacking on the back of strong nations and having them effectively be our, attack dog, for lack of a better term. We've ended up with a bizarre military alliance that extends all the way from the Mediterranean all the way up to the Baltic, because we are allied to Austria, Bohemia, and Poland still. Bohemia is having a rough old time of it. No manpower, 7,000 troops. Their borders haven't changed a huge amount, really, since the start of the game. We're also allied to Britain. They're not great allies in really any EU4 situation, because the AI is so bad at dealing with naval scenarios, getting units to where they need to be. Really not very good at it. The other issue is that the UK is going to have priorities over here with it colonizing Canada and the eastern side of the United States. So they're probably not going to be all that useful. Other thing to consider at the moment is the fact that the Holy War hasn't fired yet, but the event itself has. So we do get to choose between three things. We can be on the Catholic side, the Protestant side, or just don't pick a side at all. You'd think, because we are a Protestant nation, that we would want to veer that way. But all of our allies, apart from Britain, which has not declared one way or the other, are all on the Catholic side. So if I joined the Protestant side, they would break alliance with me. Don't really want to do that. Having said that, I'm not particularly interested in having the Catholics win, so I'm just not going to join at this point. In an ideal world, you do want to join and be on the winning side, because one of these bonuses for your next age is being on the correct side of the winning side of the religious war. And if you don't participate, you don't get it by default. So in an ideal world, you do want to pick a side and possibly do the antagonizing yourself. Realistically, though, we're probably not going to. We'll see how it goes. Never say never. I just don't expect it to happen. So yeah, we'll kind of see how it goes. Beyond that, what do we really want to do? So we still want to form Italy. I still have not decided if we're going to take on the Italian traditions and ideas, because they do get a completely different set. Bologna's are really quite good. So you can potentially form a nation without taking the ideas and traditions. We might do that, I've yet to decide. In terms of how do we form Italy, we only need 2 more cores at this point. So Rome is going to be the trickier one of the two to get a hold of. We don't have an adjacent border with it yet. We're pretty close, but we're not quite there yet. The other province that we need, Milano, which should be easier to get. Milan's not exactly in a great alliance chain. We can't attack them, though, until at least 1561, so we're going to have to wait a minimum of 10 game years. And our other issue is contending with aggressive expansion. So right now, the Papal States absolutely hate us. And they are going to hate us forever. It's just inevitable. Naples hating us doesn't really matter, because they are a junior partner that is getting eaten by Spain at the moment. So in the next few in-game years, we won't even see Naples anymore. Slightly terrifying thought, because it means we will have yet another border with Spain. And Spain's a big boy, 104,000 troops, 108,000 manpower. We're a great power, but we can't hold a candle to that. So we do have to be a little bit cautious on that side of things. And then we have the Papal States, who are guaranteed by Spain. This would be death. So that's why we're leaving those folks alone for now. Alrighty, so what's this plan going to be for this episode then? We're going to start drilling our troops. We want them to be the best they can possibly be. And we're going to start off just by getting some manpower back. We don't have a huge amount of it. We do want to upgrade our ships. We only have one ship to upgrade, but let's get on with it. Our light ship fleet, yeah, is doing trade, which is what we want it to do. I say we can probably unpause and let the game roll. We do want to keep the forts up, though, because I want to keep my army tradition high, so that when we recruit generals, they're going to be good. It's still going to decay over time, but it will decay at a significantly lower rate. In terms of other targets, we can't go after Provence because we have a truce with them for another 11 years. Savoy, I mean, we technically could, because we do have a claim on Torino. That would be a way of getting Milan in without having to wait for the timer. But again, we do want to be a little bit careful. Purely because we don't want every single nation to hate us. It does also bring in the Papal States. But Rome is going to be a massive, 34 development, which means the amount of aggressive expansion that will come off that will be gigantic. So if we did attack Savoy, it would be almost exclusively just to grab Milano, because that's 32 development. Yeah, the two provinces that we still need to be able to form Italy are both incredibly high value, which is awesome in one way. We're going to get great value off them, but on the other hand, we do have to tread incredibly carefully so we don't anger everybody around us and have pretty much the entirety of Southern Europe at war with us all at once. The other part we do want to watch out for is the Holy League firing. Even if we're not involved in it, we can still take advantage of it, because everybody else will be busy squabbling. So we'll be watching very, very carefully. It's why those pop-ups I'm still allowing to happen, even though they are pretty annoying. I don't need a claim on that. I would rather take some maps off here. Do we have any good maps to steal? Not so far. We have the option of steal one. For 50 spy power, we get knowledge of one province. How about no? If you're not adjacent or have a unit in an adjacent mapping area, it will not let you steal them, which is why most of our options there stank. Wow, that's a lot of provinces we can try and get particulars to rise up in, but Spain is relatively stable right now, +2 stability, so that is not going to be good value either. Fine, we'll just get a claim on Sassari and wait patiently. What are other diplomats doing? One is doing nothing. One is automatically assigned to making our allies happy. Yeah, we don't need to do anything with those right now. That's perfectly okay. We're going to wait patiently. I want this rebellion in Saluzzo to fire. Then we can potentially talk about Savoy. And that should happen relatively soon. Yeah, they have an unrest of 15. So we shall play our waiting game. Guess what we do? Let's get our messages filtered back on. Best guess is what I like. We've just converted a province. Fantastic. And we only have one province coring. I wonder if the Ottomans are going to attack Austria. They do have a mutual border. Well, especially with Hungary being a junior partner of Austria. That would be inconvenient. They have no manpower at the moment. They're actually at war. They'll absolutely cream their enemies over here, but at least they're staying busy. And the Ottomans busy in Africa and Asia is far better than them being busy in Europe, at least for me, anyway. Oh, that's now decreasing. Oh, awesome. Poor vintage, we drank some shoddy wine. That's the biggest issue we're going to have today. I'll take it. Once that drops to 0, maybe we will take a look at taking on Savoy. I'm sure a lot of people that play this are the same way. I'm really, really bad at doing nothing. I always feel like I have to be attacking somebody or plotting against something. Maybe that's just me, but sitting on your hands is not my specialty. We could also get some more ships. I'm going to go one over, because I imagine we'll get to that limit by then. I'm going to build some heavies. We can invest in military tech. Is that worth doing at a 60% penalty? I don't think so. We already have 61 innovativeness. That's very good. No, I don't see that as worth it. At least not right now. How is our spread of institutions? Yeah, spreading well. Printing press is not one of the harder ones to get spread across Europe, so we'll let it do its thing fairly organically. We'll also stop drilling our units now. Didn't get a huge amount of drill, but some drill is better than no drill. We also want to assess our options for army size. So the papacy is at 16,000 troops. So we would want to take... Yeah, we'll take these two down there. Put you there so we don't have attrition. Savoy itself only has 6,000 troops. Switzerland does have 20,000, so we'll watch for that. What's our force limit? 88. I don't want to go up to 22,000 worth of troops, though, because that's 22,000 manpower. So we're going to leave that alone for now. Maybe worth... actually, we'll go the other way. I was going to say it may be worth just dealing with Savoy first in one go, but I would say Milan will be better. So both of Savoy's provinces are mountains, so there's a distinct and likely possibility that we will chronically have a -2 penalty on the attack. So I would rather not deal with that if we can. We're going to get one more admiral. Wow, he has 3 siege. That is useless. Maneuver is really helpful on an admiral, and we don't have any on that guy. Tempted to re-roll, but I'm not going to. Tempted, but I'm not going to. I don't have a... Do I not have a claim on Milano? Really? That's what I should have done. Don't counter espionage. Because at least if I have a claim on it, it'll be slightly cheaper to core. Maybe I had a claim on it, but it expired. It's distinctly possible. It's several weeks between recordings for me. I'll record a few episodes in one go, and then just go a few weeks without doing it. So maybe that was in the past, and I forgot. Distinct possibility. It gives us time to get our heavy ships built anyway, so... Not a big deal. We'll deal with that event in just a second. 50%, probably still not worth it. Tech level 13 does give you more artillery performance and just better artillery in general. But they're still pretty bad in combat at this point in the game. They're a lot better than they used to be, but they're still pretty bad. And so with social mobility, we can either let them rise really through talent rather than anything else. Makes the burghers happy, makes advisors cheaper, but it makes our pastors unhappy. Or we can make everybody except the pastors unhappy, lose admin points and global trade power. How about no? Speaking of our estates, though, yeah, they're in a perfectly fine condition. We have a lot of crown land. So we're getting 15% more tax modifier. And speaking again of advisors, my one just bit the dust. I'd love to get a manpower person right now, but that is... We could afford it, but I don't really want to spend quite that much. So we'll go with Thibaut de Bermond instead. Only thing that really stinks about this guy is he does not have a culture that works for us because he's Piedmontese. What's our culture situation looking like? We can approve, so every single culture group that we have acquired is in the same culture group as us. So it's in the Romagnol culture group. If memory serves, when you form Italy, anything in the Romagnol culture group becomes an accepted culture. So I don't want to spend diplomatic points doing that yet. That will come if, let's say, we took out France or something. They are not in the same culture group, so you want to get that dealt with because, for example, there's a lot of Francian culture, a lot of high development. Don't know if that's going to be our plan, but that's just an example. How long are our boats going to take? A really long time, because the way the game has stacked these well, it should be the most efficient, but that's going to take a lot longer than I'd hoped. We're probably not going to wait for them. Actually, I'll rephrase that. We are definitely not going to wait for them. When they just get built, that'll just be a happy occasion for us. I would say at this point we have enough. If we wanted to go after Savoy, we have enough manpower, especially because we can drag Poland in. And then we enormously outnumber them. Is it worth going now and not having the claim? Probably. Okay, yeah, we'll go for it. That may not be the actual correct decision, but that's the decision we're going to go with. And we're going to be smacking some papal trading vessels as well, so that'll be a fun thing to boop. Which one of you is better at sieging? You're virtually identical, you have more cannons. So you're going to do the sieging, the other stack is going to do the attacking, and they'll hopefully stack wiping of Milan. Papal states must have their stack in Rome, so we're just going to both move there for now. And then we will move them around for less attrition. We captured 2 ships. Captured 2 light ships from the Papal States, so that's delicious. How many ships, actually, speaking of ships... Yeah, we don't even have to send ours back. They only have 13 ships between all of those nations. And looking at who's in the war, it's only the Papal States that even have a sea border. So we can just park over there and be pretty safe. Where's Milan going? Novara. Okay, they want to run away, that's okay, I really don't mind. I am going to sit in Pavia. Who will join me now? Bohemia would join, but they have no manpower. How many favors do we have with them? Tons. Fine. We're just going to have them join so that Poland can't attack them. Because Poland are not allied to Bohemia. They don't hate each other, which is interesting, so most of the time, the reason why this alliance chain wouldn't typically work is that they all have a distinct possibility of rivaling one another. But that just has not happened in this game. Oh, and apparently I forgot to move forwards. Amazing. Do I want to attack that for a -1 penalty? I guess we should. That's what happens when you do too much talking and not enough looking. We'll accept we're going to get a -1 penalty because we're attacking on a hill, because we have a 2-to-1 unit advantage, and our units are significantly better. Like, a lot better. Surprisingly better, realistic, you know, really. And we already sieged out Milan. That's pretty quick, too. Switzerland has 1, 2, 3 forts, and they are all in mountains. That is stinky. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to have one stack go up and siege and keep the other stack right behind it, minimize attrition that way. That's going to take a while to siege out. We did not fully boop the Papal States. I imagine they're going over here, so let's chase them. They are indeed. We had to take a longer route because of Roma. Are we going to stack white this time? Can we stack white, please? Nope, not quite. I don't know where they're going this time, so I'm just going to go along my own territory for less attrition. I'm sorry, Milan, we are not going to be piecing you out for a while, buddy. Just sit tight. I just want to watch where are the Papal States going. I imagine they're going as far away from me as they can, which would be Arezzo. Yep, they are. They may get a... Are they going to get a tick? Nope, they are not going to get a tick of morale, because one of our generals is rather fast. And even though our stats in combat are way, way better than theirs, for some reason we're not quite getting to the point of being able to boop them. And we still haven't booped them. Oh well, this is getting a good war score off the consistent smacking of their units. Savoy's stack just got wiped by Poland and Bohemia. There's Switzerland's stack of troops. It's good to know that we found them. Given that we can't seemingly boop the Papal States, I'm just going to start sieging out Roma. I'm not worried about what kind of work they can really get into. So we'll have our better sieging stack go for the siege, have our less effective sieging stack just go to harass them a little bit. There's a Polish stack of fairly similar size, realistically. I'm surprised they didn't wait. Then again, the AI does like to do stupid things. Where on earth is the Swiss stack going? Just abandon their own territory, I guess. I'm not... Okay, they're only going to move one province. They are going to get a reinforcement tick for morale. So we're now in November of 1553. But we're keeping, like I said, we're keeping the Papal States busy. We just won the siege at Volstad. There are some troops there, but not hugely scary troops. I should be able to catch a small number of them here with the -2 penalty. Yep. Little stack wipe. I'd rather not attack them there, though. This is going to be a little bit painful for attrition. But I would really, really like to not attack them intentionally on the mountain. So you're going to sit in place. Yeah, Switzerland's a pain in the bum to deal with. It's not got a huge number of troops. It's just annoying to deal with. And Poland can use up some of their manpower to take out... cheaper infantry is interesting. I wish it was cheaper for manpower. Yeah, we're going to let Poland boop the rest of the papacy. We can let them eat some of that manpower hit. They have a lot more men than we do. Or at least I think they do. Yeah, well, actually about the same now. Austria's the ally with all the manpower. And they did not want to get involved. I don't even think there are enough units around Switzerland to even have to play super cautiously now. So we're not going to. We do have one of our heavy vessels ready to roll. So we'll have it join the crew. Perugia has been sieged. Let's take half of that stack, go over there, the other half go over here, just in case Poland doesn't sit on it. They took out the stack and then just politely left, which was interesting. Rome has been sieged. So we're finally going to go for the nation we declared on. I know it took us a while to get there, but we're finally at that stage. We're also going to take out the Papal Navy, because this will cripple them for the future. We gained a light ship and a galley. And everything else sank. So you are going to protect trade in Alexandria, where the main fleet is. The other 22, let's go back and heal. We still haven't stat wiped the Papal States. How is that possible? I don't even know. I'm almost impressed. Milan folded like a pack of cards, but the Papal States, much more sturdy. Credit to them. I'd love to be able to remove a guarantee. I don't believe you can diplomatically remove a guarantee. So if I'm in... I don't want to release nations and all treaties. Yeah, you can't annul a guarantee because it's technically not a treaty. Oh well. I'm going to leave this stack over here in case Spain does any cheeky shenanigans. I don't want to be caught with my trousers down. I don't see Spain attacking us though right now. Purely because Austria would defend us. And Britain probably would too, but... Austria's right next to us, so can project some significant power. Oops. Merge you guys together. Ooh, Doomsday. We are trading in wine, so when you get a high enough percentage of the entire market with a certain product, bonuses happen because you have a monopoly. So trading in wine gives you national unrest -1. Pretty good. Not absolutely amazing, but it's pretty good. It is funny, though, that you're effectively saying the nation is more stable because they're too drunk to do anything about it. I'll just let you mull that one over. Do they have any... Yeah, there's no naval capacity left at all, so I am just going to mothball these ships and save myself some money. Not that we really need to do that, but... Better to, you know, save money that you don't need now, but you might need later, right? Than to just spend it because you don't need it. We have... We're going to slander some Spanish merchants so they don't make as much money. Because we're rude like that. 87% war score. Who have we not dealt with yet? Oh, Beirut. I forgot they were even in this war. Yeah. Oh, hang on. The one province minor over here. I don't need this, though. Don't declare war on Bohemia. That's not what I meant to do. Bohemia doesn't want it. Okay, well, I wanted to offer it to them. It's on their border, and they did participate. But apparently they don't want it, so we're just going to piece Beirut out for money. Is there anything in here of any interest? We don't need to just scum them for prestige, because we're already at maximum prestige. So I'll just take their money and war reparations. What have we not... Oh, dumb. I was looking right at it. We haven't sieged all of Switzerland out yet. Actually, we haven't sieged out the majority of Switzerland. For context, let's say I wanted to take Rome now. 67 war score, we can afford to do that. But it's 48 aggressive expansion. And that would put Spain in our problem zone. Having said that, if Spain is in it, nobody else would join that's that scary. The Papal States are going to be in it forever because they absolutely despise us, whether we took Rome off them or not. Milan will be no matter what we do. Savoy will no matter what we do, and so will Montferrat. Switzerland probably would join. France, that's the so this is really the threshold. Every other nation near us would be fine to join a coalition with Spain, except for France. If France joined, then we would have problems. So if we went, for example, so Milano is 47 aggressive expansion. If I take it, France joins the coalition. That is absolutely terrifying. But we do have a truce with them for 8 years, so they could not join a coalition for 8 years. So if we go slightly over the threshold, it won't realistically matter because it will burn off before then. We are going to take floating batteries. That's going to be rather useful if Spain attacks us, because then we get better siege on sea-adjacent provinces. What I would really love to do, and it's just not going to happen. Theoretically, if I pieced out Milan and the Papal States separately, I could totally take these two provinces. But the consequences would be really quite severe. I could do that if I wanted to have a border, but then that's 62 aggressive expansion. What's interesting about that is that France is, because of the distance, far less bothered about us taking Rome than they are about us taking Milan, even though we're about the same level of development. It's not quite identical, but they're pretty close. If I was to do this, Spain is going to hate me. What a surprise. But a lot of the other nations that would join this coalition either would join anyway, so I'm not changing anything, or are so unbelievably weak that it would be inconsequential. But I think we're going to actually do this. I didn't think I was going to. They won't do that as well. Interesting that they're... Oh, we only have 81% war score. Because they have a province over here. I always forget that they do have a province. That's why we're not 100% war score with them. So I don't really care if they have a province over there. If anything, it makes it more annoying for them to defend, because we're slicing the Papal States up into 3 territories. They have a province over here, then they'd have a slice of a couple here, and then 1 province there, because they don't own Siena. That's Spanish. Yeah, tell you what, that's what we're going to do. So this is going to be spicy. How much money can I get off them? Not a lot, so I'll take it. Well, I didn't think this was how this was going to go. We definitely do not need both of these to have forts, though. It's a good question, which is better. Do you want the port on the coastline, or do you want the fort that's on the better defensive terrain? I'm going to go defensive terrain. So this can get destroyed. There's a lot of... Oh, they actually have quite a lot of buildings here too. So they already have the marketplace, the workshop, church, shipyard, and regimental camp. So this is going to become a fantastic addition for us. It's only got a natural harbour. We can upgrade that in time. We can also just expand infrastructure. I almost never do this, but you can spend administrative power to get a lot of bonuses in a province. And it is particularly useful where there are great projects. So, obviously with Rome, we have St. Peter's Basilica. They only have it... Do we have one whatsoever? Oh, that's why. So we can't even build this. We're not Catholic. And because we're not Catholic... I mean, it makes sense we don't get any of these bonuses because they're of no use to us, but I wish we could just build it and get prestige instead, but no. Oh well. It's still going to be pretty. We want to move our stack over to Rome, though. We are going to have some major unrest there. That is inevitable. But I do not want to increase the autonomy because we want to get that down as soon as we can, because this is a spicy, rather sexy province. So, theoretically and hypothetically, if I were to take Milan now... Okay, we're not taking Milan as well. Because that is wild. If we took Milan, practically all of Western and Central Europe would be in a coalition against me. So we're not doing that. What we're going to do instead is just take all of their money. Realistically, the only reason why we're doing this is it gives us a really short timer. And by having a short truce, 1563, we have some more options. We want all of these nations to have different dates just so that they have a harder time getting into a coalition together against me. Because you can't join a coalition if you're at a state of having a truce. Harsh life on the ocean. Yeah, it's so difficult for them right now doing absolutely nothing. You also cannot merge naval units when some are mothballed and some are not. Can we please finally get these sieges done? I mentioned earlier in the episode, you never want to have to deal with sieging out Switzerland. It just takes forever. It's not difficult. Usually they don't have that many troops. It just takes an eternity. And I don't want to throw absolutely astronomical amounts of manpower at it, because we just don't have that much spare. Okie dokie. We have learned about lots of territory, lots of people are joining the coalition. Exactly what we'd expect, realistically, given what we just did. You know what it's like when you record, you just have to get text messages constantly. So to deal with that super quickly. Just to date this episode, it is Braviary Raid Day in Pokemon Go, so before I started recording this, I went out there for an hour. It is a hot day today, so I couldn't stay out there all day. I had to get a couple of shinies. It's a cool looking guy. I'm sure by this point of, you know, when this video comes up, it'll have been on my Facebook page for a while, because I do upload, you know, posts occasionally about what I'm doing, what's going on. Sometimes it's just links to YouTube videos. Sometimes it's just me asking questions, seeing how people are doing. Gotta make sure you ask people how they're doing. Gotta be polite like that. Or at least try to be. Yeah, there's Spain joining the coalition. We should be able to get out of this war very, very soon. If we can get some good checks and good ticks on our siege here of Chur, I would appreciate it. Bountiful harvest, lots more money we don't need. The other reason why I'm keeping quite a big bucket of money now is if we do get attacked by a coalition, it's nice to be able to just buy some mercenaries. Because mercenaries don't use your manpower pool. Yeah, they are very expensive, but you're effectively trading money away instead of your own manpower. Okay, 99% war score is close enough for me. Switzerland, I don't really want anything off you. You're too big to enforce religion. There's no point pillaging you. I'll definitely take money off you. I don't really gain a direct benefit from having parts of them be broken away. But at the same time, that might be helpful because that'll increase the truce timer, and it would mean that this little nation would love me and they would not be in a coalition against me. You would think releasing nations would reduce your aggressive expansion, but no, it does not. We don't have a diplomat to send. We do now. It's going to cost me a few diplo points. We have plenty spare. I'm not worried about it. We'll probably spend a little bit of monarch point after the war as well. Yeah, I like this. It's going to cost us 53 diplo, but it will break a part of Switzerland off. So we do have a 3 leagues. They do love us because we released them in peace. They won't ally us, not that I necessarily want them to, but because we're at war, otherwise they absolutely would. They're not even that far away from being vassalized, as it happens. The only reason why they won't is because they're a member of the League. If they weren't in the Holy Roman Empire, they would vassal to me pretty much immediately. I'd have to ally them and things like that. But they actually would. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, I don't think Austria will eat them. I hope they don't, because I have to guarantee them. So I would rather not have it break that way. Might as well get our claim on Milan for the future. And now, who do we even have left? So we have just Savoy? Okay, it's just Savoy. Are they in the same... So this is the Piedmont state. So Torino I would quite like. If I do that, does it put anybody else in the coalition? Trier, Württemberg... I don't really want to do that. That would put a surprising number of more nations in the coalition, so I guess we're just not going to do it. Huh, funny how things go, eh? We'll just take money and war reps. So, the whole point of this war was to probably take Milano, and instead I ended up taking 2 provinces off the Papal States. Weird how things sometimes turn. It does mean we can have you drill, you cannot drill because you're doing, you know, busting of rebels, and we're going to have this stack do that as well. Oh wow, the time's really been flying. You're actually getting a bonus length episode this time around. So we just saw Papal States get smacked, everybody else we just kind of parked on, and we broke a new nation way. You'd think Austria would love us for that, because the more nations in the Holy Roman Empire, the more power that they get, but alas, no. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know. This has been really productive. Good session. Talk to you soon, or anytime. Actually, leave me a comment. We can chat. What message? What do you want to do? I'm waffling. Bye! Thank you for watching the video, and if you'd like to see more, feel free to stick around.